waiting for you. Just waiting.
Just wait.
Feel free to drop a Madonna pun whenever you'd like.
Perfect. Okay.
I do that all the time. So, in fact, our audience expects it. You know,
Okay.
if you can't be a Madonna podcast if you're not dropping a Madonna pun.
You need a pun once in a while, you know? Exactly. Yay.
Madonna forever. Madonna forever. Madonna forever. Madonna forever.
You're listening to MLVC, the Madonna podcast, your place for all things Madonna Louise Veronica Ciccone. I am your unofficial Celebration Tour correspondent, Stefan. Today on the show, we have Zach, who is the creator of A Functioning Gay on Instagram. He is also the host of Top Theory, the podcast, and he was the lucky person to be in attendance at last night's Celebration Tour in Detroit. Welcome to the show, Zach.
Thank you so much. Oh my gosh, what a show it was.
Let's dive right in. I want to
please.
So you hadn't seen the tour in person before last night, correct?
Correct. This is my first and probably my only in-person show.
Gotcha.
I tried really hard. I had been debating on whether or not I wanted to spoil it myself with any spoilers when the tour started. And, I think just with, the last 3 years of, pandemic type of life, I was like, I'm diving right in. So I was up late at night. I forget where it started, but I knew the entire set list. I knew everything.
Yeah.
But it's still seeing it online through people's, live streams and recordings. It's not the same. It is not the same.
Right? That's what I've been telling everybody, because Liberty, one of my co-hosts, she's like, oh, I feel like I don't even want to see it because I know everything about it already. I'm like, it's a different beast when you see it in person. I don't know why or how it's possible, but literally you can see it, the entire show online.
Right.
And yet when you're there, it's like you've not seen the show. I don't know why.
Right. No, exactly. I mean, especially with this particular staging, I was so impressed with the stage is so unique. I mean, it's truly in the arena, it utilized almost every inch that it possibly could.
Yeah.
There were moments where my friend and I were sitting, we had a perfect view of the stage. In fact, I was thinking to myself earlier today, I was like, I feel like we had probably better seats than some people probably on the floor, because we could see all these different elements to the stage and the screens to the main stage where, it kind of comes up in tiers, to the stage where it lifts up for bedtime stories with the video screens on I mean, it was truly just an incredible, I was blown away. Yeah. Blown away. Yeah.
So talk about Detroit, the crowd. Was it pumped? Were people excited? Even before the show began?
Yeah. So I have to say, I was really fortunate enough this is actually a really exciting part of the night where, are you familiar with Heather Matazzaro?
Yes. Oh yeah. We had her, sorry, we didn't have Heather. We had Heather's wife on the show.
Heather Thurman. Yes.
Yes.
So I had the pleasure of meeting both of them at the concert last night.
I saw that you met them. I messaged Heather Thurman. I was like, oh, we're having Zach on the show tonight.
Yeah. Such sweet people. It was an absolute blast getting to know them and meeting. And Heather Thurman, wow, what an encyclopedia of Madonna knowledge.
Yeah.
I don't think I've met anyone else that loves Madonna as much as me. And I think that she has me beat. It was truly remarkable. But yeah, so we were excited. I have to say the section that we were in felt it was definitely filled with a lot of diehard Madonna fans, but also a lot of casual fans. I think a lot of people who probably haven't followed Madonna for a few years. Michigan is an interesting beast. And I have to say, I made the joke last night. I was like, oh, Michigan came out tonight. Michigan definitely came out tonight. Rural Michigan is here. But so our section was definitely mixed for sure. There were some people right in front of us who were everyone was having a blast. But I was saying to my friend Andrew, I was like, I kind of wish that we were seeing her in New York just because, the New York scene is just so different. But
I saw her when she was at Barclays one of the nights, and it was I noticed a stark contrast from when I saw her in Paris to like Paris, not that they were subdued, but it just seemed like maybe it was just that Brooklyn was so much crazier, you know?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I feel like people just, can you swear on this podcast?
Of course.
Oh my God. Okay. So people give no fucks, you know, in New York,
Yeah.
whereas in Detroit.
Well, look, actually, Zach, I'm sure, I think we can curse. I don't know if that like angers YouTube, you know, like,
Oh, sure.
Hopefully YouTube isn't going to be like strikes against that channel.
Right. Exactly.
But, I mean, we curse all the time. So it's
Okay.
it's a Madonna podcast. I
It's
feel like
Madonna.
if you're not throwing a couple fucks around, then, you know, seriously,
Just
we're doing her a disservice.
Truly, this is basically. I just want to recreate her David Letterman interview right now. See if we can just get kicked off air. But no, I mean, the show. I still am still processing it, to be completely honest.
Yeah.
It was such a treat. Like I mean, this being kind of her first greatest hits tour, I kind of feel like the Reinvention tour was marketed as a greatest hits tour, but that was also supporting American Life. This is truly her first tour without new material that she was supporting.
And the thing that we noticed about this versus Reinvention is in Reinvention, although she did stack that show with a bunch of hits.
Yeah.
Those were reinventions of those original songs.
Right.
Whereas for the most part, all of the songs that she's doing in this tour are straight, almost like verbatim to what the original version was. You know, like they're not like revamped in like strange ways. You know, they're pretty faithful versions of the songs. So
yeah. I see, and that's what yes, there were a lot of the songs very faithful to the originals, but I also love that there were a lot of songs that did, you know, get remixed or reinvented or had pulled elements from other. I mean, I think obviously everyone's been loving Nothing Really Matters, like
totally.
Being at the show opener, being a fan favorite. The mix that Stuart Price created that utilized new elements, but also the album version, but then also the Peter Rauhofer remix, like absolutely insane.
Oh, it sounds so good. It sounds so good.
And
it's
so
good.
Epic. The way that the synths start right after Bob is like coming down the stage and then she's coming up. Like it was, I actually started crying. I don't really cry at shows. And I like had tears in my eyes.
Sweet.
It was so just such a moment for me. And I was so excited. But then also I had completely forgotten that she performed Justify My Love. So that was a surprise for me last night.
Well, I mean, talk about a fantastic mix. Like
fantastic mix. The choreography was so good too.
It's like when I saw it in DC, I was in the pit. That was the first time I was that close to it, and I was just I was trying to record it for the for the podcast, and I was just like, lock your arms, just watch it. Don't videotape it because I just wanted to see it up close in person. I just love the writhing bodies, and it's so good.
It was beautiful, and the costuming, because everyone had like their flesh toned, under or like garments on.
Very similar to what you're wearing tonight.
Very similar. Hey, just a little nod and a wink. But I was just I don't want to, I've been getting really frustrated with the way people have been commenting on her appearance lately, but I have to say she looked amazing. And I say that meaning she looked healthy. She looked strong. Her legs were legging last night. I noticed that the knee brace wasn't on as much.
Yeah.
And she was moving around that stage. People knock her for her age all the time. We forget that she's 65 now, right? She will be 66 this year.
Mm-hmm.
She's running around that stage for 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
Killing it. Singing, dancing, and being dragged across the stage in a chair. She's being carried. She's doing all the things, doing the absolute most. And she's 65 years old.
Right.
Crushing it.
So let me ask you a quick question. So you are not 65.
Correct.
Were you tired today after seeing the show?
Yes. Oh my gosh. So the show started at 10:30. I know that there's been a lot of chatter about her quote unquote starting late. I don't know what the official start time is supposed to be on the ticket. My friend had the ticket, so I don't know. But I know that she's notorious for starting her shows at a later time. And so I had seen through chats and things like that the start time was probably going to be around 10:30. So I was like, anticipating it. Sure enough, 10:30, and she started. So I was not disappointed at all. But that said, the show ended right around 1 a.m. Didn't get home. I was staying at my sister's. I live in Grand Rapids, Michigan. So I was visiting Detroit for the night for the show and stayed at my sister's, who lives over that way. And so I got to her place at 2 a.m. I have not been up that late in a while. So I don't know how she does it. I mean, truly a warrior on stage.
And imagine like there are nights she has to do back to back, where it's like she's doing that and then does it again the next night. And I'm like, because I did that in Paris, I saw one night. I was shattered the next day, absolutely shattered. I had to I just laid in bed in the hotel for like half the day just so I could gear up the energy to go see her again the next night. I'm like, I don't know how she does it either. It must good vitamins, I hope.
I hope so. I mean, we know that she's, notorious for fitness and whatnot. So, I mean, she works really hard to stay in shape.
Yeah.
I also, last night I wore a corset, so I couldn't sit down really. And so I was standing for probably a solid 4 or 5 hours straight last night. And and also I was wearing heels. So I was like, my legs were exhausted. So yeah. To answer your question, very tired today, but completely worth it. I'm just truly still in awe of the show. Like, it was just all of what I was really impressed with the way that the set list was kind of created and all the little nods and winks to different remixes and songs, like the way that In This Life plays right before Live to Tell.
Yeah.
That I was really emotional during that performance, by the way. That seeing all of her friends who had died of AIDS, that was so powerful. And I had heard about it online, seen clips, but like seeing it in person, beautifully done. So beautifully done. And I love the storyline that she tells too.
Yeah, it's great.
It makes me wonder if this is like a precursor to the film. Do we know where that's landed?
No, we theorize on this show a lot about the fact that, even though Universal or Paramount, whichever it was that was supposed to do it, they have it in turnaround, which usually means that film's dead. There's no resuscitating it.
Okay.
I have a feeling she's doing the tour, and then after the tour, she'll do the biopic, and maybe she'll self-finance it. Who knows? But even if she didn't, and this was it, I think her storytelling is beautiful.
It was absolutely beautiful. And I was just blown away with how she's had it all set up. And to have that task of displaying your 40-year career in a 2-hour show,
right?
Make all your fans happy, because you've got all of the casual fans that are there that want to see Vogue. They want to see, Holiday. They want to see, Material Girl, which they didn't get. But,
oops, sorry.
But then you have people like us who want to hear the deep cuts. I mean, we got Mother and Father. We got the fact that Up Down Sweet, like a little bit of that was played at the intro of Vogue.
I love it.
And one thing that I did not hear, and I was really, again, I love all of these, and maybe this is just the former DJ in me, but like hearing all the little sound pieces and whatnot, hearing the David Morales remix of Deeper and Deeper in the back, slightly in the background of that. I heard the deep, 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 deep. Like, that was so cool to me, because I'm like, it's these tiny little details that are giving the fans, diehard fans like you and I, the absolute most.
Yeah.
And I was living. It was
right, because
so
obviously
good.
she can't do 50 songs,
right.
But as much as we want her to, I mean, there was, we'd be fine with like a half day show, like
exactly.
But imagine how long that would go for. Like,
Insane.
She wouldn't come on till 10:30 at night, and we'd be like getting out at like, it'd be like when you would go to a nightclub and you'd be leaving the nightclub on Sunday morning and it was daylight, like
right.
You're passing people on their way to church, and
right.
Well, we've just come from church, so
no, literally. Seriously, like, I was just blown away. The fact that we even got a little snippet of Causing a Commotion, that was so cool. And was she doing that at the start of the tour?
No, I think she did it once, and then it didn't pop up. And I think now it's more frequent.
Okay.
Like, I think now she's doing it, and she's still singing Express Yourself, right? She still did that.
So she replaced "I Will Survive" with "Express Yourself," and we also got "Frozen" instead of "Rain."
Yes, those changes I knew that she had done. I wasn't sure. So talk to me a little bit about how she was. I saw the speech that she gave after "Don't Tell Me," where she before "Express Yourself," where she talked about her dad, and she got very emotional
Yeah,
talking
she was
to the
very
Detroit audience.
Yeah, she was very emotional, and she said, I want to say it was earlier in the show that she was said, that her adrenaline level was like really high, like coming home was really is always really stressful for her, and I believe it. I mean, it's interesting because Michigan, a lot of people to me love to be like, oh, she hates Michigan, blah 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 blah, and I'm like, I don't know if it's that she hates Michigan, it's just that she's such an artist, and I was like, as someone who's also very expressive and creative, I was like, most people in Michigan just don't get it. So I completely understand her desire for wanting to explore new avenues and get out of Michigan and, figure out her way.
Yeah.
So it's not that she hated Michigan necessarily. It's just that people here don't necessarily get it. And so, coming back, I'm assuming that, a lot of people would probably think, oh, she's eating her words or whatever. But it's like, well, yeah, like, she knows that she left Michigan.
Right.
She knows that she's made a huge name for herself. And now that she's older and, gone through health scares and things like that, I mean, she has a lot. I don't think she has anything to prove, but I think that, people are always looking for her to fail or at something. So I would imagine just being any human being coming home and doing your homecoming show would be really, really hard, but she absolutely crushed it.
Or I think also kind of it would be sort of exhilarating, to be able to continually come back and be like, hey, see,
well,
look what I did.
Let me tell you what, I mean, Mama was, she looks healthy, strong. She sounds great. She looks great. She was dancing her ass off and celebrating, again, a 40-year career. I mean, she's the queen of pop. She's a global icon. Yeah. And, I was like looking around the crowd, and again, you're seeing truly a very diverse crowd too. I mean, you're seeing, I saw people who were probably her dad's age there, and then people who are way younger than me. So, I mean, I was seeing everyone there. But like, you look around and you're like, yeah, there's probably a lot of people here who are roughly around her age and, aren't doing as well. We'll just say that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I was exhilarated for her. Like, it was just truly magical to watch.
What were your like top 3 moments from the show? Like, did you have like just these like standout moments where like maybe you thought you went walking into the show, maybe you thought, oh, I'm going to love this, this, and this. But then there were other moments where you're just like, oh my God, this was amazing.
Yeah. I would say overall the show, the audio, it was so, hearing it on social media does not, I mean, it does not compare. Like you can't, it's not even comparable. The audio was so good. I mean, like, it was like vibrating through my body. And so throughout the entire show, specifically, I remember Like a Prayer, the remix that they did, truly just really hitting. That was really incredible. And that was such a moment, the staging, the dance, the choreography, that was really special. That really sticks out in my head. I loved the entire Vogue sequence. Again, like I mentioned earlier, utilizing Up, Down, Sweet and the remix of Deeper and Deeper, and the Break My Soul remix. Like, that was just really, really cool. I wasn't sure who this surprise guest was. I think she's a drag queen.
I wasn't sure who it was either.
Yeah, I wasn't sure. I was like looking, and I kept trying to like hear, but I was also so stimulated. I was just like, so like everything that's going on, I was just like,
It's almost a little too much. Like it's such a sensory assault that you almost like, you can't take it all in all at the same time. It's just impossible to like, there's just, regardless of where you're watching the show from, it's just like, there's just so much just coming at you. Yeah.
Another remarkable highlight. I mean, the 1, 2, 3 punch of Bedtime Story, Ray of Light, and Frozen was awesome. Like, that was the way that they used And that was another thing too, is that in watching it online, I saw the Bedtime Story performance, heard that they used a little bit of the Junior Vasquez remix at the end to kind of transition into Ray of Light, the Sasha remix. But one thing at the beginning of Bedtime Story that I loved is that they were using little bits and pieces of the Orbital remix. And it was so subtle, but I like heard like all the stuttery effects and I was like, oh my God, like, I was just like, it's all these little things again. And I'm a big remix fan. So that's why I'm just like oozing in my seat right there. And then, but then Frozen, when she did Frozen, when I heard that she had done it the other night, I was like, oh my God, I hope that we get Frozen. Because I wasn't sure if she's like alternating or what she's doing. And Frozen's the song that made me a Madonna fan back in 1998. And so to see her perform it again, because the last time I saw her was in 2008 on the Sticky and Sweet tour. Which
So you didn't get to do Madam X or Rebel Heart.
No, yeah. So
MDNA. So there was you've missed a couple shows.
I missed a couple shows, yeah. And so to see her do Frozen, I was lucky enough to see Reinvention. So that was the last time that I had seen her perform Frozen live. But to see her do it and, utilizing both the Sick Kick remix and the album version was really, really cool. And I was just so happy that we got to see that because I was really hoping. I mean, I love Rain too. So, I mean, I would have been happy with either. But
Yeah.
Oh,
that's awesome. Yeah, I'm glad that I'm glad that she switched it up because it's kind of fun that she's switching it up.
Yeah.
But I know that there was a lot of people who were like, oh, I can't wait to see Rain. And now she's not doing Rain anymore. It's like,
right. It makes me wonder if there's any other changes that she's going to do. There are so many things that she could do, so many songs she could pull out that she hasn't done. I mean, I'm sure that Express Yourself would probably change again at some point to something else, whether that's Who's That Girl or, I don't know. What's one song I don't know if she'll ever perform it, but one song every tour I'm always like crossing my fingers. I want her to perform Skin so bad.
Oh, well, that's a podcast favorite. Everyone on this show has a very specific desire for Skin. I was not a fan of Skin. That was my one skip on Ray of Light, and I got such an audience feedback of how could you not like Skin? Yeah. I now have a soft spot for Skin because I've listened to it over and over and over again. I'd be curious to see like what she would do if she was to swap out like another song, like if she was to take Express Yourself out, what would her acoustic number be? If she was to take Frozen out, what would she do? I'm curious to know what she would switch, if she would switch something,
Right. And I've seen rumors online. I don't know if these have been confirmed or not, but allegedly there was a section that contained music, Candy Shop, backed that up to the beat.
Well, I'm so upset Candy Shop didn't make it onto the set list because I was really hoping it was going to after not being on Madam X, because it would not have worked in Madam X because that was a very big statement piece. But since we're doing greatest hits and she loves Candy Shop, I was kind of shocked she didn't put Candy Shop on the set list. Because I think are we missing? I don't think there's anything from Hard Candy at all. Like no. I don't think we've got anything from Hard Candy, which is kind of strange. So.
Right. Yeah. We see it in video clips on the screens. I'm trying to think. I don't think that there's any audio representation of
not even like little clips or like little snippets or anything like
right, which is not only does she love Candy Shop, but she also loves Give It To Me. So I was really shocked that we didn't at least hear that synth that she always utilizes
like at the end in the closer or something,
right. Yeah. Which also, by the way, the ending was so good. I remember when the tour first started, people were online were kind of saying that it felt rushed, but I felt seeing the show, I thought the pacing was really good throughout the show. And I was really impressed with the way it ended. It did feel like an explosion and a truly like, it's the all encompassing celebration, right? We're ending with a bang. So ending it with, Bitch I'm Madonna and Celebration with a little bit of music thrown in there, just a little bit. That outfit, so good.
I love it.
So good. And, I was just I was sitting there thinking, I'm like, of course, like I would love other songs and whatnot, but like I didn't walk away from the show feeling like I missed something.
Good call. I like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously people were, praying she was going to do Rescue Me or she, like there were things I think people walked into that show expecting to hear and they'd, or like there's little teases, like the violins for Papa Don't Preach,
Right.
or
Yeah.
the little snippet at the end of the Michael Jackson tribute where you hear her sing Angel.
Angel.
Like there's like moments where you're like, oh, Madonna, if you're going to whip out an old song that you haven't done, like, can you do a little bit of Angel? Like Angel mashed up with Rescue Me, the house would fall, like
Truly.
it would just explode,
Yeah. Yeah. I was actually thinking when watching this too, because again, I love to conceptualize set lists. That would be such a dream for me to like put that together for someone. And I was thinking, I was like, I wonder why she's never done a medley of Causing a Commotion Into the Groove, like the way that Causing a Commotion in the bridge, like get into the groove. Like I'm sure there's a way you could cross that into the groove. I feel like that could be such a cool moment.
She would. I'm sure Stuart Price could have found a way.
Yeah, 100%. So hey, Stuart, give me a call. I can give you some notes. But yeah, I mean, truly, the set list was perfect. And imagine having the task of like not only creating the set list, but then also putting together all of the montages that they did, especially during I Don't Search, I Find. I was like,
that's such a great montage.
Oh my gosh, because you're getting different like footage on every screen. So It's like I talk about an overstimulating, like, oh my gosh, there's so much to take in. Everywhere you look, there's like different news pieces, music videos, people talking about her. Like, wow.
Yeah, I didn't fully appreciate it. I think even the first 2 times I saw it, like I had to. It wasn't until like I was watching it a third time I was like, oh, that's where that's part.
Yeah.
It was a little too much. Well, so I'm glad you got to go, and I'm glad you loved it because you have a very fantastic Instagram account called A Functioning Gay, and that's how you came onto my radar because so many people share your memes that you create. Everyone listening, if you are not following Zach's account, A Functioning Gay, go follow them. I repost you all the time.
Thank you so much.
You have such a great sense of humor with it, and what about Madonna is it that inspires you to constantly use her in your memes?
I mean, she's everything to me. I mean, she's truly just, I mean, she's the person that was kind of the first person that I saw in my life to like, I mean, not to be cliche, but like it encouraged me to express myself, through her music, through her videos. I felt seen when I would watch her music videos and see the flamboyancy of her dancers and things like that. And I just find her so, well, I don't even know what the word is. Like, she's hysterical, first of all. People don't realize that about her. A lot of people don't understand that she's very funny. And a lot of the things she says are said with a wink and a nudge. Like, she's not being serious.
Yeah.
And so, but she just has so many great moments, whether it's music video clip, whether it's an interview, whether it's an award show performance, like, the source material is just endless. So
yeah, I think what was it? The one that you really, I think I cackled out loud was, when, was it? No, I'm trying to think what it was. There's so many things, like, honestly, I love when you reuse some of the same movie clips. It's for like, you repurpose them for different people. And I love like, I keep waiting every time somebody else is coming out with a new album. You will always, I think you tend to use the Devil Wears Prada, right? Don't you use Devil Wears Prada?
I do use Devil Wears Prada. Yep.
Where she's like when Miranda Priestley's showing up early and no one's expecting her. And
yes.
Oh my God, she's coming. And
yes.
Like I love that.
She's on her way. Tell everyone. 100%. Yes. I love using that clip. There's a lot of clips from Truth or Dare that I love to use. Like Do Something Else, Do My Eyebrows. I've used that several times now. It's not much of a meme, but I love the part where Moira is like, Madonna, I did not teach you how to insert a tampon. That every time I use that clip, people love that. I love the part where she's like putting the mouth spray for like what feels like an eternity, and then she goes, "Motherfuck!" It's so good. So, oh my god, and I mean, she's just great. I mean, there's actually a part from Truth or Dare where she goes, where it's the scene in Toronto where they're threatening to arrest her, and she's talking to Freddie, and she goes, "So what's the straight now?" I'm trying to figure out a way to use that as someone who presented that to me the other day.
Yeah, I love that. I love it. What's like as if like no, like there's nothing to fix here. Like this is what it is, you know?
Yeah, what's the straight now? So yeah, I wanted to use it like me, like every time like a friend of mine wants to like fix things with a toxic relationship. Like, what's the straight now? That's because that's truly how I feel. I'm like, what's the straight now?
Well, I'm sure you've seen her Nightline interview where she was defending "Justify My Love," and
yes,
like that. I love that Madonna because she's like, because she's smart. And she's giving it back to him. Like she's not like just being like, oh yeah, it's a, you know, this video is great. You should watch it. You know, she's just like, she goes in on him. And some of the things that she says on there are really, really funny. You know, like
it's so good.
No man made me crawl under that table. I'm chained to my own desires. You know, like it's some of the things that she says in that are you should revisit that.
I really should, because I was gonna say it's been a minute since I've watched that full interview, and now maybe that's all I'll do this after this episode.
Or the one that I love is the making of her Take a Bow video.
I don't think I've ever seen that.
Oh, the treasure trove of clips from that. MTV, the making of Truth or Dare. The making of Take a Bow. Watch it. It's
okay.
That Madonna is fantastic.
I can't wait. I just came across some making up behind the scenes of the Human Nature video that I'd never seen before. They're really low quality.
Yeah.
But she had said some really funny things in those as well. And I was like, oh, I need someone needs to unearth the like higher quality footage of this, because this is everything.
I know. I want MTV to like release just the raw footage of all those specials in like high def so we could have them. Like,
I sometimes just go on YouTube and watch like her ultrasound episodes, and I just rewatched her pajama party for the Bedtime Story premiere.
I love that.
I miss those days. Everything felt like such an event.
Yeah.
You know, when she was releasing an album or a music video, it was an event. They
don't do promo like that anymore. Now it's just like, here it is.
It's a bunch of little like TikTok, Instagram, which I get. I mean, that's my world that I'm known for. But at the same time, it's so accessible now, and everyone's doing it, that it just the event of it all, it doesn't feel like it's that exciting anymore.
Well, I will say this: I will compliment you in this way.
Okay,
I feel that people such as yourself, with accounts such as A Functioning Gay, help amplify some of those rollouts, because like when you do, like you were very excited about Ariana Grande and her new single, and you help promo that. Like you get people excited because you do little clips and little memes, and that helps amplify that rollout in a way. You know, like I don't know if the artists appreciate people such as yourself and other accounts who do that type of stuff, but that really makes it fun for us.
Thank you. So that is maybe the best compliment I've ever gotten about my account. Thank you. I'm being dead serious. Like that was very kind. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. It's fun. It is fun for me. You know, when I say it's not exciting, I mean it in the sense of like, I wish it felt like an event.
Yeah.
Because those things do feel like events for me. I wish other people were as excited. I always joke that it's my sport, you know?
Yeah. Oh, no, totally. Like people are always giving me kind of like concerned looks, like you've been hosting a Madonna podcast for 6 years, and I'm like, people have been watching sports for years and years. Like there were people like dying on a hill to do season tickets. You know, I'm like, don't give me shame because I'm seeing Madonna 5 times. You bought season tickets to a football season. You know, like
you're watching people put a ball between a net or something.
Like, well, is it the same show? Well, this tour, yes, it is the same. You know, it's like a Broadway show. So it's the same set list or whatever. But So, like, people are going into like a football game. It's the same thing that happens every time. Maybe
Same
different
thing.
plays, but it's the same thing. Hike, you throw the ball, they tackle the person, they try to get it across the line, then they do the little dance where they like, oh yeah, I got a
Right.
touchdown. It's the same bullshit. You know, like at
Yeah.
least Madonna, every time she comes back around on tour, is giving us new outfits, new set lists, new arrangements, new choreo. You know, it's like,
Yeah.
so
Every single, I completely agree. It's like, that's such a strange argument too, because like you watch a movie, it's going to be the same movie again. You listen to a
right.
song, it's going to be the same song
I
again.
guess
Like
it's just because people think that you're paying all this money to go see a show. And I'm just like, well, it's
you,
fun.
yeah, it is fun, and it's art, and it's performance. Like it's absolutely. You know what's interesting is that someone today messaged me, and I hate when people like their response to something that you do is like they immediately want to like yuck your yums. I've been saying that a lot today for some reason, but
Yeah, I like that. That's good.
this person I was talking to was like, asked me what I did last night. I was like, oh, I went and saw a concert last night. He was like, oh, what did you see? And I said, Madonna. And then he like sent me 3 paragraphs of how much he dislikes her. My thing is, I don't care if you don't like her. Why are you going out of your way to tell me what about her caused such a visceral reaction? And it was all
Right.
stuff based on there was no merit to his opinion. None of it was based on fact. And I was just kind of like, what is it about her that just makes people so like,
Yeah.
I don't know. It was so strange.
It
was
is
so strange. to
She
me.
we talk about that a lot where she just elicits a very strong reaction to people.
Yeah.
And if you're not on board, then the people who aren't on board are like really up in arms about it. It's just like they have to prove that they're right, that Madonna isn't the greatest pop legend that ever existed. You know, it's like they just have to try to prove that. I'm like, calm down. Like,
Right.
calm down. Like, you go and do your thing. Fine. You know, like it's like the same thing that I get. I don't know. I know you've gotten a couple like nasty messages on your Instagram or whatnot. It's
Yeah.
like people send me shit all the time, and I'm just like, just turn it off. You know, like why are you going through all this, jumping through the hoops? You know, like just go.
Just turn it off. Yeah, I said that I addressed this the other day because I had seen an uptick on a couple of my memes where people were just going on and on about how they think that my opinion's this or that. They're just super negative, and I was just like, you guys realize that you're going out of your way to invest your time in something that you're not enjoying. If you're not enjoying it, don't interact with it. Like you're investing all this time that you could be doing something that you do love.
Right.
So it's so interesting. Yeah.
Like Madonna says, switch the station, change the channel.
Exactly. Justice for Hollywood.
Yeah. Well, Zach, I know you're probably a little exhausted and you probably want to get some sleep tonight because you have to get up early in the morning. I remember you saying that.
That's right.
But before you go, there's a little segment we like to call the lightning round. These questions, the answers are meant to be quick off the top of your head, wherever you're at in your Madonna journey. Don't think too hard.
Okay. I'm nervous, but okay.
Favorite Madonna song?
Oh, fuck. Oh my God. I famously say that I can't pick a favorite. It would be, I can do a top 20, but just for the sake of this, I'm
Off
going
the top
to
of your
say
head, what's the first song that came to your head?
Impressive Instant.
Sweet. Favorite Madonna album?
Ray of Light.
Favorite Madonna music video?
That is a tie between Bedtime Story and Human Nature.
Oh, both from the same album. Very good. A favorite Madonna tour? Doesn't have to be one you saw.
Oh my gosh. That's like picking children. I do. Oh fuck. I do love. That might be a tie between Reinvention and Confessions.
Good. Well, good call. Those are good. Yeah. Favorite Madonna movie?
Ooh, favorite Madonna movie. I'm Breathless. Or sorry, Dick Tracy.
Dick Tracy. You were in the same world.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
good. Favorite Madonna look, and this can be from a video, a tour, a photo shoot.
Oh, favorite Madonna look.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Favorite Madonna look. That's tough because
there's so many.
there are so many. I'm gonna go ahead and say though one that I was in more recent years. It's crazy that 2012 was what 12 years ago now. But I'm gonna go with the Vogue look that she wore at the MDNA tour.
Mm-hmm.
With the suit with like the structured corset, like that was really, really sickening.
That was hot. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is not one of my usual questions during the lightning round, but since you mentioned remixes, favorite Madonna remix?
Ooh, great question. All of the remixes on the Ray of Light project are close to near and dear to my heart. So I'm going to go ahead and say right now I've been really digging the Sasha Twilo. Is it Twilo or Twilo remix?
Twilo, yeah.
Remix of Ray of Light, but also Sasha's remix of Sky Fits Heaven.
So good.
I've made a playlist of the album and then all my favorite remixes, and I listened to it the entire drive to Detroit, and it was actually kind of the perfect timing. I also love the Vikram remix of Nothing Really
It's so
Matters.
good. It's so good. So I love the contrast between the like Club 69, like nothing really, it's like super dance, super up, super friendly. But then the Vikram remix like slows it down and it's like all Middle Eastern. Yeah. It's so good.
It's so good. And I love that what's interesting about it is that it, like you just said, there's a lot of like Middle Eastern elements to it. I believe it was produced by Talvin Singh.
Yes.
That's how you say his last name. And who blends those worlds of like electronic music and like world music. And then I love how the entire song, like the normal structure plays, and then the beat kicks in for the last like 3 minutes.
Right.
And it takes you on such a journey. It's such a unique remix. I love that remix so much.
Yeah, that's like it's a great one. I love because it's so unexpected for that song.
Yes.
You know, like you expect it to be hands in the air the entire time, and then you get to that and you're like, where have we gone? What door did we open? You know, like you're in a different portal of some sort, you know?
Right. Yeah. I really wish there is a promo only version of that remix. It's like 13 minutes long. And I was really hoping that we were going to get that on the digital release and we didn't. So, Warner Brothers,
it must be out there somewhere. That's got to be out there somewhere.
It's on YouTube, but I'm like, give me the high quality version.
Yeah, I know. We have high hopes for those album re-releases whenever they finally see the light of day.
Seriously, that'd be great.
Like I have a feeling like there's going to be so many where I'm like, oh, I really wanted to hear this, or oh, I really wanted to hear that, and
yeah. What's your favorite Madonna album?
Oh, it changes all the time. I mean, as soon as you say that, I instantaneously like Erotica came to my head, and I think, and I always say, I think Erotica mostly because as a Madonna fan that was, you know, from a young age, so the albums were coming out as I was growing up.
Right.
When Erotica came out, that was literally the first time a pop artist had an album that sounded like a dance record, you know, like a Prayer was dancy for pop, but it wasn't like remixed type of sound. And Erotica sounded like just a remix, you know, like the whole album. It was just like, oh, Madonna's in the club. So it sounded, I think that's why I just loved it. You know, like it was, I always want Madonna dance. And
that's fascinating. I never thought, I mean, because I became a fan of Madonna in 1998 when she was releasing Frozen. So I was 12 years old at the time. And then I went retroactively backwards because once I become obsessed with something, I like have to know everything about that person.
And what a gift you were given.
Yes.
Like finding Madonna in 98 and then being able to go back and listen to all that music whenever you want. Like that's amazing.
Yeah. And what was really interesting is I remember watching MTV's, they were doing a Madonna-thon, like music video Madonna-thon is I think what they called it. And I remember watching those videos and it was like leading up to Frozen.
Yeah.
And I remember watching it and all of a sudden the music video for Cherish came on and it unlocked a memory from when I was 4 or 5 years old. I remember my dad calling me into the living room being like, Zach, look, mermaids are on the TV. Because I was obsessed with The Little Mermaid at the time.
Oh, how cute.
And I had no idea who that woman was.
And there were some hot mermaids in that video.
Oh, my God, were they hot. And they were
Little did your dad know. Little did your dad know.
Oh, I think he knew. And, my dad, very special. He was a very special man. He took me to my first Madonna concert and took me to my first Cher concert.
Oh, what Madonna concert? Which
it was John World.
So good.
Yeah.
So
and
good.
Palace of Auburn Hills. So yeah.
Oh, that's
in Michigan.
amazing.
Yeah, it was really cool. So yeah, that was really cool. I was like, oh wow. So my love for her actually does stem back very far. I just didn't know it at the time when I was a kid. So
Oh, there you go. How about that? Well, Zach, thanks for being on the show. Tell everyone where they can find you on social.
Yeah, on TikTok and Instagram, you can find me at A Functioning Gay. And then also you can listen to my podcast, Pop Theory, that I host with my best friend, Jeff. You can listen to that on Spotify and Apple Podcasts.
What's coming up in your next episode? Are you allowed to say? Or do you like to keep that secret?
Next episode. So we record every Thursday, so we haven't even recorded yet. So usually we try.
Is it going to be Madonna-centric this week?
You know what? Yeah, I was going to say, I'll probably do my own recap of Madonna's concert because
you'll have time to digest it. This is helping you process, and then you'll have a bit more of an informed opinion.
Exactly. I was going to say I'm still processing. I mean, it hasn't even been 24 hours yet, so I love that we did this because it's like so fresh, you know.
Yeah. Well, and if you'd like, go. I'm telling you, go on my YouTube because the footage that I shot 4K in DC, it's amazing. Like the clarity is so fucking good. It's so good.
I would love that. Yeah. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh yeah, no, thanks for coming on. And I think we've achieved your goal of dropping enough F-bombs to make Madonna on David Letterman very proud.
Perfect. I love that. Excellent.
Yeah. So stay right there. Don't hang up. We'll say goodbye to everybody. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.